Yo, so you want to get better at Blackout but don't know how? Well, first of all, if you actually want to get good, then you need to watch this video. It goes over 18 different tips on how to improve. I can guarantee that you will win more fights in Blackout if you watch until the end. Also, thank you for 300 subscribers. My channel has been growing so fast and I really can't thank you guys more. At 500 subscribers, I will be hosting a big giveaway, so please subscribe to help me reach the milestone. To get started with the video, if you're engaged in close quarter combat, you want to use third person. Third person gives you more mobility, however it does lower accuracy. This is why you should strictly only use third person if your enemy is within 15 studs. Now if your enemy is mid to far range, use first person. It has more accuracy than using third person and it can help you beam enemies. Here's how it would look like if you use third person for far range combat. And here's me using first person, which is way more accurate. When you're in combat, you want to always move. By this I mean hit a few shots, change positions, and hit a few more shots. If you're continuously changing positions, this will throw off your enemy because 1, they have to realize that you changed spots, and 2, they have to turn their camera, which gives you time to shoot them without them being able to shoot at you. The first of my favorite kit is an AK-47 with light tactical armor, trauma pads, and bandages. This kit requires barely any time spent at a merchant, so you can quickly get back in the game. If you want a tankier approach, get heavy tactical armor with an AK-47, MP5, and max out on heals. Also get energy drinks and energy bars so you can fill your stats. You can also get utilities like flashbangs and grenades. And of course these kits are flexible to your liking if you want to change something about them. Understand guns. If you're fighting someone who has a Spaz 12 and you have an AK, refuse to get close to them no matter what, because their damage is greatly negated the farther you get away from them. And by going up to them, you're only giving them an advantage. If they don't cooperate and take cover until you get close, look for new enemies, or if the object they're behind can be penetrated, shoot through it at your target. If you're being chased by a shotgun user, run and try to get to a higher point than them. Wall penetration is a very important part of gun combat. Lots of walls can easily be shot through with guns like M4s, AKs, and SCARs, and all doors too. Additionally, if someone is hiding in a room, look for a window to shoot through. Most of the time if someone runs in a building to lock a door, you can shoot through the door before they get to lock it and they will end up down. Some guns cannot shoot through walls depending on what type of gun it is, like a crossbow, but for the most part, a lot of guns can. Your avatar is the key to winning more fights. If you have bright flashing colors with effects, you need to change that immediately. It's best to use a dark avatar to make it harder for your enemy to see you. Having a dark avatar while it's nighttime is a super big advantage on your part. Taking cover and sneaking up on people become a lot easier. Also, if your avatar has accessories that produce effects that can be trailed, remove it because traveling across the map with those accessories will attract more players. Making a dark avatar is really easy. All you need to do is unequip all your accessories and go to skin tone. Then select all and change your skin tone to black. You'll notice that Roblox moderates this, so you need to make either your torso or legs this partially black color. If you don't like this, head over to the marketplace in the classic shirts category and type black. Do the same for classic pants, and the first result on both sides will be matching colors that make your avatar very dark. If you care about your avatar though, you can wear accessories if you want, but just make sure that they're dark, otherwise it ruins the whole purpose. I'll give you 5 seconds to try and see if you can find my alt account in the background. My alt account was here if you didn't find him. This comes to show how overpowered full black avatars are. When it becomes dark in Blackout, seeing enemies can be difficult, especially if they're in full black. To combat this, you can either equip night vision, which costs $500 in-game, or increase your screen's brightness. There are many ways to do this, but if you have an NVIDIA GPU, search on YouTube for how to increase gamma. This method turns out to be better than using night vision. If you don't like night vision and don't have an NVIDIA GPU, you can also increase your screen's vibrancy by using something called Vibrance GUI, which is easy to download and set up. The download link is in the description. Here's a quick tutorial on how to use it. First, click the download button, and then at the top right, double click that. Then double click the .exe file. Click extract all, extract. And then in the new folder, double click vibranceGUI.exe. Now at the bottom of the tab, you want to click add. Double click Roblox, and then at the bottom you want to double click Roblox again. This ladder represents how bright your screen will be, so make it to 300 or to whichever percentage you like, but 100% is default. And to go back, you just click the Roblox icon again and you bring it back to 100. Here's the comparison of how they look. And here's 300% at nighttime. So yeah, that's an alternative to night vision. Leave a comment if you need help and I'll reply to it with the solution. Before I go over my settings, I just want to let you know that I'm only going to go over the important ones, but feel free to still copy the ones that I don't go over. Alright, so for FOV, you want it to be at 90 max. This expands how much you can see on your screen. And for aim sensitivity, you want it to be at 1, not too much, not too little. This determines how much movement you give your cursor when you move your mouse with your hand. If you're not nonchalant, you should just always keep party invites on if you have friends. You should always have show performance on to know your FPS and ping in a server. But if you have a black shop edition like me, it's not necessary. With how the map layout is, auto parkour should definitely stay on. Auto parkour can affect movement, and because rooftop PvP is popular, it can only help you. For the audio tab, I have everything set to 0 because 1, the lobby music is so loud for no reason, and 2, because with all of the settings set to 0, it helps me hear for footsteps and player activity around me. For the whole entire video tab, I have everything set to off or 0. This is because it would lower my FPS and overall it just affect my performance. For keybands, reloading is set to E for me. This is because it's closer to WASD than R is. Instead of R for reload, it's for a switch sight. Anything that is P is just stuff I don't use. And this is my personal favorite crosshair. You don't want the color to be anything dark because you want to be able to see it at nighttime, and you don't want it blending in with parts of the map. And lastly, for attachments, I just do black, white, black, white. Reticle and iron sight are set to black so it doesn't blind me when I'm aiming with my gun. For effect and laser color, I set it to white for cosmetic reasons, but if you have operator commander, you should set it to black so it's harder to see you. Graphics is crucial for gameplay, especially in Blackout. If I'm trying to lock in, I set my graphics to 3 because it increases my performance, and when I'm at max graphics, it is high quality, but I'm getting barely 40 FPS. And it's even worse when I'm recording. For the bare minimum to see the whole map, I put graphics to 6. This is for when I'm recording, so it's not ugly for you guys. When I'm just playing regularly, I set it to 3. Attachments play a big role in gun PvP. Here's the specific layout of attachments I put on my AK. Reflex sight because it's clean and gives me 1.5x zoom. Laser because it's the only grip available and it lowers spread. And muzzle brake, which I can say is the best barrel. It not only lowers recoil, it lowers spread too. But if you prefer reduced spread over lowered recoil, get flash hider. And you should never use suppressor. It lowers your penetration and makes you weak against armored opponents. Some guns have the ACOG with reflex sight. I recommend using this if you plan to beam from far distances while also doing close quarter combat. Also, some guns have vertical grip, which is better than muzzle brake since it lowers recoil. Listening for player activity around you is a crucial step. All it takes is one footstep and you can pinpoint the exact location your enemy is at. Take this clip for example. My team is getting countered in waves by a gang, and I know one of them was camping a gate we didn't pay attention to because he popped an energy drink. That half-second sound told me his exact location. So yeah, sound is very important. You want to make sure you use full volume and don't listen to music. This may make Blackout boring, but if your enemy is listening to music, this means sneaking up on them will be very easy to do because it's like they're playing with no sound since they're listening to music. If you're playing with friends or a gang, you need to use good communication. If you don't, well, this will happen.
My team? It's garbage! I told them to revive me. They looked at me for about 2 seconds and walked away. Oh my god! I'm never playing Blackout again, bro. And I mean never. If my teammates are actually that stupid.
Yeah, that's probably a good enough reason why you should give good comms. You need to have a strategy while playing. For example, do you plan to get far range kills with automatics or close range with shotguns? Will you sneak up on people or walk into a fight instantly? There are many different strategies in Blackout that all give you an advantage in certain scenarios, so it's up to you to decide which strategy you want to use. Money is not the problem. If you have barely enough money to buy proper kits, that's your fault. Blackout's economy is extremely inflated. People have millions, if not tens. I mean seriously, just look at this and that, especially this one. The economy is extremely inflated to the point where if you don't have even just 1 million, you're not trying hard enough. If you need help on how to farm money fast, watch the video in the top right for a thorough explanation on the best ways to farm money. Movement and parkour in Blackout is also important. Make sure you have auto parkour enabled in settings because there are so many areas in the map where there is parkour necessary. Climbing up to a building involves parkour, and so does jumping off a roof and landing in a trash bin properly. In a recent update, fire hydrants were introduced that can be shot to launch you onto roofs with ease. There is no reason not to use them. You want to make sure your hunger and thirst stats are at least above 50%. If they're below half, stamina regeneration will be very slow and this will affect movement. Dealing with gangs is a dreadful part of Blackout as a solo. It's very hard to wipe out even half of a gang when it's a 1v5 or god forbid you against a Zerg. When you're fighting a group of people, it's important to analyze the situation. Are they separated or grouped? Do they have shotguns? Are they armored? Knowing all this information can very much help you in killing them. You'll know what to expect and how to counter properly. If they're all grouped up, well, you'll know what to do. Posture is also important. You want to have a straight body while playing. This helps you lock in. If you're like this guy or this guy, this will decrease your efficiency to press buttons or move your mouse. Proper posture is also good for you in general so you don't have back problems in your 20s. Some guns in Blackout can be reloaded faster than you think. The wheel in the center of your screen should logically finish when your gun gets filled with ammo, but you'd be wrong. At 3/4 of the circle with an AK-47, the gun is reloaded so you can left click once to cancel the animation that's done too. That's not a lot of time, but it's a big advantage if you use it a lot. Another trick I use is when, for example, you reload a gun and halfway through the reloading, you start holding E on an ammo box, which will allow you to hold your gun and immediately reload your ammo or open said locker. This is a small amount of time saved, but during PvP, this time can really help you. One last trick is using your fist lunge attack to get out of bad situations quickly. I always keep my fist at slot 1 because I use it frequently. Your fist lunge attack only costs 10 stamina, and that is a low cost compared to how far it takes you. This paired with long jumping, which is when you jump off the edge of something, can become very overpowered. Alright, you made it to the end of the video. I hope this video helped you, and please consider leaving a like and subscribing since this video took me a very long time to edit. See ya.